Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Greg's coming to you on 11 October 2020. I've talked to you quite a plenty about the strife going on inside our country, internationally, about the tensions, about the prospects for war, about civil war, world war, and everything in between. I've talked a lot about that. But here's the question. Is all that just a distraction? Is all this a play to some bigger event? Is all this funnelness herding us toward something else? And what is it? What do you need to do? How do we stop it? That's what we're going to talk about here today. So I would ask you, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, bang the bell, and click all, because I'm going to bring you more videos about things that you need to do, things that you need to know to survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. And we're going into the hive discussion in this video today. I talk about things that you can eat from the wilds all around me. All kind of food, medicinals. I talk about how to grow your own food and do it without having to go to the store. Do it organically. Those are important things to know. But I also do a lot about what's going on in the world because so much is coming at us. And so I've been building a house of understanding, brick by brick, and every video is a brick. And this is one of the bricks toward the top of that house. It's a brick of understanding. There's more to be laid. There's finish work to be done. There's interior to set out. But you need to understand what's coming at us today. So please know this. You need to get ready. Physically, spiritually, for your family, yourself. I would say, take heed. Right now I do have a special. Shameless plug here real quick. Right now you can get $100 off for a 4-week supply of 25-year lasting food and easy to carry buckets. And it is 2,000 calories per day, excuse me. 3 meals per day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Go to prepwithgreg.com, prepwithgreg.com. Great deals there. Click the My Patriot Supply logo on prepwithgreg.com. Take you to all kinds of other prepping supplies that you need, that you may well need to get through these times that are coming at us. These very perilous times. So let's get to it. So we know, I've talked about potential war with China. Stuff going on between Armenia and Azerbaijan. We've talked about North Korea. We've talked about a lot of threats that are out there in front of us. And I just must say that it's more than physical. You know, there's that Hegelian dialectic. You have a desired outcome, so you create a problem, then you create a solution to drive toward that desired outcome. We want this, so let's stir everybody up over here with this. This is the problem. But the solution is to do this stuff, which takes you over there. Nobody would want to go over there in the first place. Like, you know, the Patriot Act, for example. Kind of thing with, you know, what did W tell us after 9/11? He says, oh, they attacked us because they hate our freedoms. And our response was taking away our freedoms with something called the Patriot Act. What a bunch of doublespeak. What a bunch of Orwellian doublespeak. Holy smoke. We're going to talk about dealing with things like that in this video. What you can do. What we're doing. Organizations are forming. There's many things you can do. And we're going to cover that at the end of this video. Let's paint the picture a little bit further. So, the Hegelian dialectic. What kind of play is that? How are we being played? Well, many of you may know that one of our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, he railed quite a bit against central banks. He did so because he really understood who were behind them, what they were really up to. He warned us. He said, in the land that your fathers have fought for and won with their blood, you will lose it to these people, because they will take it through you by playing games between you know, by raising inflation, deflation, interest rates, various games. He wrote quite extensively about that. Well, Greg, how did he know about all that and those guys back then? Well, you might know that the order of the eliminated ones, if you know what I mean, the Bavarian order, was started the first day of May 1st, 1776. You might also know that Thomas Jefferson was in France from 1784 to 1789 for 5 years. And he was the guy that wrote the Declaration of Independence. You can bet these people were really courting him, trying to win him over. But contrary to popular belief, he wasn't even a member of the Freemasons. There's a lot of good members of the Freemasons, but I don't know about the very top of the organization. That's once you get that 33-degree lot of people are highly suspicious about what they do. So, yeah. And that's a whole lot of what we're talking about here. And the games being played. So this is really about globalism. It's about the global gulag. It's about the evil that's coming to us. Yea, even though I walk through the valley of the kingdom of the walnut tree, I fear no evil. For I have with me thy rod and thy staff. And I've done a video on that staff, right? We'll talk more about that little staff shortly. But I tell you what, what's going to save you? The real rod and the staff are what the power is granted to you by the greater creator. And he's impelled you to pray. He impels you to be knowledgeable. He gave you a mighty mind. So just remember that. We're also in the shire of the vine to talk about the divine. See that vine there, big grapevine? Talk about the divine and those who would take your soul and your mind. So really what we're into here is a spiritual war. Yeah, there may be world war, there may be all kind of physical war, strife, shed of blood, many things awful may come upon us. But it's also a spiritual war. It is heart. That may be just exactly what it is. And it's a war for control of your soul, your mind, your freedom, the future of humanity. Because there are those who fear humanity. There are those who are afraid we're going to wake up and discover what they've been doing to us through all these centuries. They're afraid that they're afraid of us. And that's a good thing. Because they know the power lies within us. They know that we have the numbers. You just have to wake up and quit buying what they're selling. That's what it boils down to. So what they're trying to do is put us in the global gulag. And for the global gulag, my answer to that is, and those that would put us there, ye shall not pass. You will not pass. You know what I mean? And we're going to talk about how we can stop them. How that can be prevented just by exercise of our rights and our freedoms of doing what we need to do. Right now, we're at a time when it's best done, when it's most easily done. Although they may put all kind of other things upon us. So let's look at the dimensions. I've talked about that. I've talked about these agenda that they have. See, they want to have all this in place for some strange reason. They seem driven by the year 2030. And it's there on the UN. They have a website dedicated to that. And also something called 2-1. Zwei Eins agenda. Right? It's all there. It's on their websites. And they make it all sound nice and beautiful. But really, it's anything but. It's nothing like the beauty the greater creator gave us in Mother Nature. So I'm here in the midst of this beauty to tell you that there is hope. That there is hope. See, they would have you believe that there's no soul, there's no nothing. It's just them. That the real God should be the government. Well, that's what communism teaches, basically. That's why they try to control the churches and things under the CCP and the PRC. They even have changed the text of the Bible. It can be taught in the schools and churches there to say that Jesus stoned the woman when he asked those that would have stoned her, let he who is without sin cast the first stone, and none did. But they decided that they could change that text at their will. Because they're the masters of all things, the masters of the universe, the masters of your soul. But it can get worse than that. I've talked about the Hive tech arms race. I've talked about how we're on a slippery slope of technology. How this technology gets more and more powerful and gets closer and closer to us. And now they've invented and begun to invent the technology to put it inside the old bean for the ultimate control. Where can all that lead? Might be all right if you knew that nobody could hack it and come in through some mysterious back door. But look how they run all the operating systems today. Microsoft and all that stuff, they all have back doors. They're all hackable. And that's what they want. They want to be hackable. They want you hackable. They have a system that they're trying to come up with. It's going to go great and wonderful. It's going to seem like the best thing in the world. You're going to have all kind of great, crazy, wondrous experiences in their system, in their matrix. until they got everybody in it, and they don't need to give you that, and you're all useless eaters. Then they can just shut it down, get rid of it, do whatever they want to do. I think there's some fog on this lens. Anyway, so let's hope not. But yeah, I think it's right in between my lens. I sit looking at this side. My apologies for that, but we'll go on. The global Gulag is what they're trying to set up. See, when you have different countries, at least if you don't agree with one, if you have to, you can go to another. You can be a refugee. Maybe you become a refugee from a mainland to an island, like the Republic of China did, to get away from the People's Republic of China when they staged their insurgency and then tried to conquer the people who formerly ran the government of the nation. We still have their own nation that they're still trying to subvert now. Yeah, that's the way I refer to them. That's why I come out here to the kingdom of the walnut to talk about small kingdoms. There's another walnut tree on the other side. See that other little patch of grass over there? There's a walnut tree to the heart of that, a whole nother little fledgling kingdom of walnut. See, Mother Nature has a lot of analogs for us. A lot of things that you can look at. But I digress. So, real quick, I think most of us know what this thing is that's on us. A lot of people don't realize that it has a lot of dimensions in current politics. And, you know, all the strife we have, the social strife in this country, is driven. That's part of the Hegelian dialectic. And, you know, the order of the eliminated ones has as their motto, order from chaos. Well, now they're really creating a lot of chaos. See, that's what they want to do. You break it and then you rebuild it the way you want it. But what they want can be found in the guidestones in Georgia. They want to vastly limit the population of the people. I know some people, oh, we have too many people, that'd be great, and they think they're going to be on the inside of it. You have no guarantee of that. Unless you're one of the 13 families, you're not going to be on the inside at all. They got you thinking that. That's a deception. Sure, they're using you as a useful idiot to get their power structure in place. Once they have it in place, you're either going to exist for their entertainment and service unto them, whatever way they want that, which is, you know, who knows, you don't want to know. Or they're going to get rid of you. That's it. If you can't be in service to their entertainment, you'd have to be a totally compliant type person too. And most of the people that's agitating to help bring about this change are anything but. And those are usually the first kind of people they get rid of in a situation like that where tyranny has been set up. They use those kind of people to help them set it up, and then they get rid of them. Because they can't have people who could be dissatisfied, disaffected, who might protest, because they're going to put up a regime of total control and power, totalitarian system, and they just can't afford that. Like I said, they fear you and me. They fear us, and that's our source of power. Greg, you're talking crazy stuff. Oh, that can be. You know, that's what I used to think. I really thought, nope, this can't be. It's impossible. That many people couldn't hold secrets like that. There is no way on God's green earth. I mean, even in the presidential administration, they can't keep a secret. How in the world are they going to do it? And then I got noticing there's these groups like Bilderbergers that meet with lots of people, including scads of people from the news media, the major media, the chiefs of industry and the government and organizations across the world meet there and in other places. That's not the only other meeting they have like that. And yet, not a peep comes out of this. How about Bohemian Grove, where thousands of people go? What do you hear about that? Aside from a certain video that somebody by the first name Alex slipped out many years ago. What do you hear about these things? Zip. How can they keep all that so quiet? Well, it's beginning to come out, you know, that in order to keep that many secrets and that many people quiet, two things are in order. One, to advance in society, you got to be a member of their club. Once you're a member of their club, they will help you advance. But the price of being in their club is they have to have heinous blackmail on you. You've got to do something that is over the top, so heinous that you would be stoned to death in public if anybody knew about it. That you wouldn't be able to walk down any street ever. They are evil. We are talking real evil. That's what it takes to control the world the way they do it. That's how the club got in power. And they only promote their own people. They started out maybe on the side, but eventually they assumed and mounted positions of power. And there's contest among them as to which flavor of their evil whatever is going to rule in the end. And as you know, a certain bankster by the name of Rockefeller, what was his name? So many Rockefellers. The one who was, shoot, I'm getting brain locked right now. Anyway, David Rockefeller, excuse me, wow, brain lock. David Rockefeller extolled enormously on the CCP. He said, man, they've done it. They got it right. This is the way that we've got to rule people. I mean, he went on and on. He loved the CCP. You see, that's where they're coming from. That's what they want, total totalitarian control of the population. He loved that. He loved that system. He loved what they were doing. And they, believe you me, they were behind a lot of the rise to power that we're seeing there today. So, let me ask you, do you want to vote in these elections for people that's going to favor the CCP, that's going to favor the continuation of the growth of the PRC, the CCP, or are you going to vote for you and me? That's really what it boils down to with the election. But the election is not the only thing on tap here. You know, some of us have started an organization called the Freedom Restoration Foundation. And yeah, I've got a Democrat on my board. So don't accuse me of partisan politics, because there's good and bad people in both parties. It's just one party might have more control from what I'm talking about. Remember, I talked about this. You can email us hal5space@aol.com. That's the best way to get on our list. But we've also started a Facebook site until they take it down. And just because you join that don't mean we necessarily want to have enough data to transition you over to some other platform. So you'll have to keep your eye out to transition, because they probably won't even give them notices, because that's the way Facebook runs. But for now, we do have a site on Facebook. You can come there and you can a page there, and you can join us for now and get a flavor for what we're doing and get engaged. We're going to put out notices. We have a list of legislation, and we show exactly where it's at in the committees, who the sponsors are, who introduced it, so that we can tackle things. And one of the biggest lists of that legislation has to do with getting mandatory things that you may not want put inside of you, you know, if you know what I mean. That's part of it. There's a lot more to it than that. That's just a sliver of what's coming. We're trying, the whole purpose of that organization is to protect and restore our freedoms. Our freedoms. Now, Skeeter's about to get all over me here. When you stand in one spot in the woods, you're here breathing, they take attention. They get drawn to heat and carbon dioxide. So that's what they draw to. And I want to show some nice little forest scenes as we walk out of here in a minute. And I'll keep talking about all this stuff. Just got to start moving some because the skeeters are upon me. But I want to be concentrated here a little bit before I really go on the walk and start showing you things as I walk and talk. See a lot of beautiful things out here. Okay, so the other thing we're fighting, it truly is globalism. And I told you often, vote with your dollar. It's one of the most important things you can vote with. Vote with your dollar. Buy local. Support your local artisan, your local farmer, your local tradesman. Don't go to the big companies. Go to the small guys. The small guys, the independents. What they want to do is take your sovereignty away from you. They don't want anybody to be independent. They want everybody to be on the system. They want to take people off their land. That's why they're against private property. Is they want to take away any chance anyone has of doing anything outside of their system. They want everybody subservient, sucked up, so that you have to have what they put out to survive. That's another point about Social Security. Like, who's going to buck the system when you're expecting this big benefit from the government in the end, right? Oh, nobody will fight us because now everybody wants some of this stuff. They know that if we don't have this system, you won't get it, right? So maybe that's what they're thinking, stuff like that. And that's why we're going to have to be resistive to what's to come. So, you know, check out my rod and my staff. I fear no evil, right? Actually, I'll tell you a story about that rod, that staff here in a minute. It was generated so that I could not have to fear evil in the Alaskan wilderness in 1981. All right, vote with your dollar. I'll say go to the polls and vote. Like I said, but how do you want to vote? Do you want to vote for people that's going to favor China, the CCP, the government as the prototype for what they want, who they would probably allow to be the administrators of the system worldwide. Yeah, that may be what they got in mind there. So I would not personally favor that. That's why I'm not in favor of Creepy Joe. I'll just let you know. I'm not going to be voting for Creepy Joe. I think he's got to go, along with Pelosi. Trump is a potty mouth. Yeah, he's got a lot of undesirable characteristics, and he seems to throw Julian Assange under the bus. I'm not happy with that. But he doesn't seem to be in the system, and that's why they're attacking him, unless it's all just a show. But I say, you know, I've got family members who feel like that people voted for him because they're racist, because they want Nazism, fascism. And really and truly, most of the people I know that have voted for him vote because they don't want anything to do with the deep state. They want to end the power of government. They want the swamp drain. That's a completely different matter. That's the pathway to liberty. That's the pathway away from fascism. And let's hope that's the pathway taken. That's what we need to push for every way we can, is to get the swamp drained. The swamp is evil. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolute, and we have a system in which power has grown way out of kilter. And there are bad members of both parties. I'm not a fan of John McCain or Mitt Romney. They are deep state. They are part of the globalist cabal, or McCain was, as his dad was before him. Now I could talk to you about his dad, Admiral McCain, at some depth one day maybe, but that's all water under the bridge now. I actually met John McCain once when I was walking the halls of Congress. But I came close to meeting Obama, actually. I had an appointment to meet him, but one of the girls on our team wanted to meet him exclusively. Oh well. So I let her go in by herself. You know, it's supposed to be a team appointment. And I was in charge of the group. She was from his district, and really wanted it to be just her and him. Maybe she put a pass at him, I don't know. I got a feeling he probably didn't take the proposition if that was the case. I don't know, don't take that too literal. I'm just wagging my tongue. In case she's listening especially. She was a nice lady. She is a real nice lady. Smart lady. Okay, so there it is. Vote with your dollar. Join our organization, the Freedom Restoration Foundation, and also go to the polls and vote for liberty. Vote. You may see it different than me, but I don't want to vote for anybody who's going to promote tyranny. You know, maybe there's tyranny on all sides. Both parties are implicit in this whole game. There's a lot of power in both parties that are part of the deep state, the globalist Gulag. So we've got to start resisting every way we can. I think it's my opinion that Donald Trump is the better of the two in that regards. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying he's wonderful. I know that's going to tick a lot of people off, and I apologize for that. It's just when and I've said he's not perfect. I've done a video attacking him. I attacked him on his throwing Julian Assange under the bus. I think Julian Assange and Snowden ought to be considered heroes, but we're not there. So maybe it's possible that Trump is deep state, but let's hope not. But even if he is, at least they'll know where we're at as a population. So that's part of what concerns me. That's where I stand on these things. Yeah, I'm not telling you to agree with me, and if you don't agree, just say so in the comments below. That's okay. See, that's your chance to talk. We do have freedom of speech so far to some degree, not as much as we used to. You do have the right to petition and redress your government, and those are good things. Just hope those things can continue. We have our freedom of speech, but a lot of these people practicing the protests today want to get rid of all that. That's why I say that we're coming for this era of control, of tyranny, and a lot of people are being played, and we just got to keep our eyes open. But in the end, we were told by Jesus to trust no man. Trust no man. And that would include Donald Trump or any other man. So we have to trust and put our faith in the greater creator. You have to, whoever you call to is your greater creator. And I'm not even telling you that. I'm not doing a religious channel here. That's not what we're about. What I'm about here is trying to help everybody survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. That's the proposition of my channel. That's why I talk to you. That's why I cover what I cover. because I'm helping you get that knowledge. So anyway, that's really the nutshell. We've got elections coming. They're coming up fast. These may be the most important elections we've ever had. We're at the crossroads because they want to put this on us. They want to put it on us by 2020. Look at Deagle.com, where it shows our population in the United States dropping like a rock within the next 4 years, basically, the 2025. Well, that's no time from now. 2020 is almost gone. And we've seen this year's already been a roller coaster. What else do they have in store for us? My friends, that's what we got to watch out for. That's why you need to get prepared. That is why you need to go with prep.withgreg.com and get the food and survival items. That's why you need to grow your own food. Go to True Leaf Market. Use my link to go to True Leaf Market and buy seeds, heirloom seeds you can replant, and get as much as you can. Save them up for next spring. We don't know if you can get them next spring. What's going to happen there? We don't know. There may not be a power grid. There may not be an internet. Look at my video with Stacy Savicki, where she had her vision that we will lose our power grid potentially this December. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I said potentially. All right, so let's end this with a little walk and talk. The woods are beautiful. I'm in the aftermath of Hurricane Delta. It's wet as all get out. It just rained here. I mean, it just finished raining a minute ago. We had a good shower. Look here, we got a lot of beautiful plants. This big old vine. Don't you love that big old vine? The Shire of the vine. It's a big grapevine. Big muscadine probably. Big muscadine grapevine. Look at all the moss down here. Listen to the birds. It's interesting how underneath the walnut tree, walnuts put toxins in the ground through the roots that control what grows around them, but certain other plants do grow well in that. It's just, I guess, the things that would be most competitive to them don't do as well. But it becomes a place of this little wood, this kind of grass you see in the woodlands around here all over the place. It's more of a viney grass. Check out these little ferns. That'll be on the way down. You got to stop and look at the small things. There's a lot of wonderment at your feet and your toes. Look at this beautiful moss here. Oops. Oh, just got out of focus real bad. Alright. I think I got scanned out. There we go. So, there's always people come out here in the middle of the woods and they throw their junk. You can't come anywhere out here without finding trash. Anywhere in the forest. People take their junk and just throw it out. People just don't care about things. It's really sad that people just take their trash and trash a beautiful place like this and find stuff out here. Anywhere you go, you find trash. There's also food. Check out the walnuts. Found it from last year. You can make dyes from it. Eat the nuts. We've talked about that. Check out the forest. I'm going to walk up to another walnut shire. Another kingdom of a walnut here. See that little, look here. See how brown this is? But when I come up to the next walnut tree, which is smaller, it's got a smaller little nation around it. See that? It's got its own little country here. All that grass. Then there's another walnut tree, right? There, my friends. But this is a much smaller walnut shire. So, I did a video on my staff once upon a time. As you may know, I got this Woden's Wooden Wanderer here from awesome, from my friends. Bring light here. But Gorgeous Awesome, they were the ones that made that for me, gave it to me. Yeah, excuse me, I'm getting brain locked today. Must be the shower of the walnut. So I'm going to show you this staff here real quick. I'm going to sit up against this tree. I've had it for 39 years. Since April, or May, I think early May, 1st of May roughly, of 1981. I was stranded 20 miles out by myself in the wilderness in Alaska and had to walk out by myself. And I found this sapling. I had no weapon other than a pocket knife, and that wasn't going to do me no good against a wolf or a big dog or something. And I did sharpen this. I cut it, I sharpened that in. And these roots used to stick out real prominently here and made nice little points. So I had something I could swing that was pointed on one end and pointed on the other end too. and there was some weight on this thing. So this has been a walking staff of mine, and it was my great formidable weapon of self-defense until some dog discovered it made great chew toy. So, weapon of self-defense or a puppy chew toy. So that I know you've watched this video this long, just say, Greg, I like your puppy chew toy. That way I'll know that you saw this much of the video. Anyway, we're going to walk back. And we can look at a few other things in the wilderness here. Wilderness, just some wooded area, not really a wilderness. There's another walnut tree kingdom over there. I almost just look for the grass and then go looking for a walnut tree out here. It's kind of interesting. Little ecosystems, little individual ecosystems. Now there's grass here just because the sky's open. In that case, I believe. But you find many things growing. Some animals been digging. There's wildlife here. There's lots of deer around here. Deer, possums, raccoons, squirrels, rabbits, birds of all manner, and maybe some strange barefooted hominin. This is a big barefoot print in front of right at my greenhouse door one day. Strange. Pretty good size. It's interesting, just to say the least. So I'll show y'all a couple things I got going on here. So I go up, made a few improvements around here, couple. Check out this magnolia tree. You know, magnolia blossoms are edible. You really have to pickle them to eat them. They're very intense, quite intense. That's a magnolia tree. Might have come as a seed off the magnolia in my front yard. And these are huckleberry bushes here. No huckleberries on those. And that log is a firing range. A lot of holes in that wood. How did they get there? Little firing ranges out here. How does that happen? Oh, I know these things. Look, we're getting autumn colors starting. Here's some worm beds I've got to rebuild. These big holes here. I've got to put new worm beds back in here. And here's ones in the process of being rebuilt. Anybody want to come here and help me build worm beds? Uh-oh. This one's not been closed properly. I'll come back to it in a minute. I've got my kids here I'll have to talk to in a minute. Check it out. This is for new worm beds to build. That is one of my mini trailers I've got. I use that one for hauling horsey and compost and such. My sled beds. See, my sled bed is all back in here.